Hi, my name is Jacob. In the front row is my husband Stewart and our soothing 17-month-old son Max. And right here is our amazing surrogate Christie, who we're so grateful for. So I'm going to talk about our independent surrogate journey. And before I do that, I just want to say that gestational surrogacy is definitely a right fit for many people. But for us, we found independent traditional surrogacy to be the right fit for us. And just to review, independent surrogacy simply means doing it yourself, not going through an agency, and traditional surrogacy means working with one person, meaning that the egg donor and the carrier are the same person. So why did we choose to do independent traditional surrogacy? First off, we wanted our child to know his biological mother and to have an ongoing relationship with him and his half-siblings. We didn't want it to be a mystery of who she was, who his half-siblings were, or for him to fantasize over it. My philosophy was that no matter what you do, your kids are going to be pissed at you for something. And I wanted to make sure or hope that it wouldn't be around identity issues. So we'll see as he gets older. But anyway, we wanted a streamlined process. With traditional surrogacy, you are working with your surrogate, a lawyer, and a turkey baster. With gestational surrogacy, you're working with not only yourself, a surrogate, you also have an egg donor, you have a doctor who performs the fertility treatment, the IVF, and you have an agency, and with that agency comes a team of people. And that could be an escrow agent to make compensation payments to your surrogate. That could be a social worker to mediate issues. And for us, we felt like if any of these issues were going to come up, we wanted to deal with our surrogate directly because we felt like that would strengthen our relationship. And we want to have it in our own hands because no matter what you do, you are the one who's going to care about your journey the most. So we really want it to be a hands-on process for us. Also, having an independent journey, you can customize your path where you really can't do that with an agency. For instance, Christie, I hate to reveal her age, but she was over 30 when we started to work with her.
Yeah, still am.
And she still is. And you are. Okay. I thought you went backwards. But anyway, so she's over 30, and some agencies have an age cut for the egg donor. So also, since Christie's a public school teacher in the state of Georgia, we didn't feel like we needed to do a background check. And since she did this before for another couple, and we used them as a reference, and we didn't feel that we needed to do a psychological test or psychological evaluation. Yeah. So finally, costs. We saved substantially by doing it independently, but that wasn't our main reason. But by doing it the way that we did it, we didn't pay for IVF treatment, we didn't pay for an egg donor, and we didn't pay for an agency. So your costs, if you do it the way that we did it, your cost is significantly less expensive. So we matched. Basically, I just want to talk about how we began the process. We went to this very seminar in 2008, and we then started to go to the men's biological parenting meetings that we learned about from the seminar that Ron heads up, and we started to do that in January 2009. And then in April of 2009, we went to this website that we learned about called surromomsonline.com, where we actually learned about that by going to the men's biological parenting meetings by a parent who actually spoke at the seminar in 2008 in my very spot. And this site, sarahmomsonline.com, is a forum for people who want to do it independently and for surrogates to discuss everything surrogacy. And so we put an ad there, and that's how we found Christie. Christie was one of the people to respond. We started to talk to a couple of different people by email, and we found that Christie was going to be the best match for us. So then we started to email with her, talk on the phone with her, and a month later we went down to the Atlanta area to visit with her and her family for a weekend, over Memorial Day weekend. And after the weekend, we were like, wow, Christie's amazing. We would love to match with her. And we were so glad that she wanted to match with us. Notice I say it's not that we picked Christie, but we matched, because it's just as important for Christie that we were right for her as Christie was right for us. There were a couple of things when we started the process that we were looking for. We were looking for someone that already had kids but was done having kids. We really wanted someone who did this before for a few reasons. One, that we knew that she wasn't going to keep the baby. Secondly, because the prior person had nothing like priorly, we would have references, so we could talk to someone to help us through the process. And thirdly, we would have someone who's experienced, who would really show us the ropes. And Christie was very good at doing that with us. And we had no idea what we were doing, and Christie was great there. So after those basic questions, there's a couple other questions that we thought about. Was she attractive, intelligent, on top of things? And you can see, and you'll hear Christie speak, that we hit a home run together. Does she have support of her family to do this? It's very important, because pregnancy is stressful enough. You don't want any other issues to arise. Did we feel that our personalities were compatible? Because you're going to spend a lot of time with your surrogate, or if you do it the way we do, or we chose to. You wanted to make sure that you mesh. Also important to matching is that you cover all the basic questions of what you expect out of a relationship. For instance, what was brought up, abortion. Are you on the same page about abortion? Are you on the same page about selective reduction? Are you on the same page of your involvement? How often are you going to go to the OB appointments? Are you going to be actively involved or not in the pregnancy? Would she breastfeed after the baby was born? And then you also have to be on the same page of how's your relationship going to be after the baby is born. So, are you going to see each other yearly? Are you going to send updates? So these are things you definitely have to be on the same page about. There are no right or wrong answers. You just need to be on the same page. So once we were matched, we signed a contract that laid out the terms that we agreed to. And after we signed the contract with Christie, we got busy trying to get pregnant. It took three tries. And in Georgia, there's a crazy law that it didn't allow for an at-home turkey baster method. So we had to do an IUI, which is an intrauterine insemination procedure, which is basically the turkey baster method, but it's in a doctor's office with fancier equipment. And so while Christie was pregnant, we kept in very close touch. We were emailed, we talked on the phone a lot, and we went to all the important doctor's appointments. We were down there for different sonograms to find out the sex of the baby, all the really fun pregnancy stuff that I really recommend that you be involved with. And as Christie entered her third trimester, we organized a meeting with the hospital. Everyone the staff that was going to be there the day that Christie was born. Really, the Max was born, Christie Max. To really hone out the details, because not every hospital is used to two gay guys and a surrogate, and there's a lot of different details that you need to work out. Are you going to have the bands to have access to the baby? Is your surrogate going to breastfeed? And also there, Christie had a C-section, and we were able to talk at that meeting about, they were able to bend the rules with Christie's permission and let Stewart and I in the operating room with her husband. So I highly recommend that you organize a meeting. Anyway, our post-pregnancy relationship is amazing. We've been to Atlanta, Christie's been up to New York. We see each other on a nice regular basis, and we're really happy with Christie and her family and their involvement with our family. We see each other as extended family, and we just feel really lucky. Thank you very much.